Attention passionate and loyal Cleveland Browns fans. One of the most important decisions in franchise history continues to generate debate across the NFL. And we're not talking about a routine signing or a simple draft selection. We're talking about a move that could shape Cleveland's future for years to come and determine whether this team can finally find its way back to legitimate championship contention. But before we dive into the story, if you live and breathe Cleveland Browns football every day, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. Let's build the biggest Browns community out there and show that the Dog Pound remains one of the most passionate fan bases in the league. Share this video with fellow fans and help spread Cleveland's voice throughout the NFL. Now let's get to what really matters. Browns fans, I want to ask a question that sounds simple, but it's sparking intense discussions among NFL analysts, executives, and insiders. What is more valuable for a rebuilding franchise? Accumulating multiple first-round draft picks, or having a young defensive player who has already shown the potential to become one of the league's biggest stars? For some people, the answer seems obvious. For others, not so much. And that's exactly where the name dominating this conversation comes in: Jared Verse. Over the past few months, a theory has started gaining momentum among influential people around the NFL. The idea is bold. Jared Verse may have reached such a high level of value that his importance to a franchise exceeds even the return of multiple first-round draft picks. Does that sound exaggerated? Maybe. But when you examine his recent trajectory, the discussion starts to make a lot of sense. This debate gained even more traction after the trade that shook Cleveland and officially brought a historic era of Browns football to an end: the departure of Myles Garrett. For years, Garrett was much more than a dominant defender. He represented the identity of the Browns. He was the player who led the defense, constantly attracted double teams, and forced opposing offensive coordinators to completely alter their game plans. His impact went far beyond statistics. He was the face of the franchise, the symbol of the Browns' competitiveness, and one of the most respected players in the entire NFL. That's why when Cleveland decided to trade Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams, the reaction was immediate. Many fans viewed the move as the beginning of a major rebuild. Others believed the front office had finally accepted a difficult reality. It was time to think about the future, even if it meant moving on from a generational talent. The fact is, the debate surrounding this trade is far from over. Some analysts argue that the Browns could have made this move much earlier. When Garrett publicly expressed his desire to compete for a Super Bowl with a more championship-ready team, his market value was likely at the highest point of his entire career. Even so, the organization chose to keep him, invested heavily in a contract extension, and continued trying to build a contender around him. But circumstances changed. And when they finally decided to pull the trigger on a trade, Cleveland received a package that included Jared Verse, a first-round pick in 2027, a second-round pick in 2028, and a third-round pick in 2029. At first glance, that appears to be solid compensation. But the true centerpiece of the deal may not be the future draft picks. It may be Jared Verse. Since entering the NFL, Verse has displayed traits that immediately catch the attention of evaluators: explosive athleticism, the ability to pressure quarterbacks, strength against the run, relentless intensity on every down, and a rare ability to impact games even when the box score doesn't fully reflect his influence. His rookie season was enough to establish him as one of the most promising young defenders in football. The recognition came quickly: awards, national attention, respect from opponents. But the most impressive part came afterward. Instead of plateauing, Verse continued to develop. His second season showcased a player who was more complete, more consistent, and more prepared to embrace a leadership role. His presence within the defense grew. His influence expanded. And his reputation reached another level. That's why some experts believe Cleveland received something far more valuable than a collection of draft picks. In their eyes, the Browns may have found the next great defensive leader of the franchise. A player capable of